Hi and welcome to another video. I'm Nick and I'm a husband, dad, pops, coach and counsellor, and on this channel I share tips, ideas and practical tools designed to help you succeed in life. Today I want to talk about something we all struggle with from time to time, and it normally shows up in moments of self-doubt or when we have feelings of not being good enough. What am I talking about? I'm talking about self-confidence. Being able to accept and trust ourselves. Self-confidence is about having a sense of control in our lives, holding a positive view of ourselves, communicating assertively, and being able to handle criticism. So in this video, I'm going to share 3 things that you can start doing right away that with practice and patience are guaranteed to help you become more confident. Let's dive in. The first step to becoming more confident is to start being careful about how you speak to yourself. I don't know why it is, but for many of us, we have a tendency to put ourselves down. We notice what we get wrong, we see our weaknesses, and we tend to focus on our failings. I remember when learning to drive, my driving instructor would tell me that if I wanted to avoid hitting parked cars, I needed to keep my eyes on the road, not on the cars. In other words, focusing on the parked cars would make me more likely to hit them. And the same is true with self-talk and how we communicate with ourselves as it relates to confidence, that if we're only talking about what we're not good at, then actually it's that conversation that will influence how we feel about ourselves, which in this case will make us feel less confident. So an easy practice that will help you feel more confident is to keep a daily record of things you've done well. Just by writing one thing you believe you did well a day will get you used to focusing on your strengths rather than on your weaknesses. Or, as Alex Hormozy puts it, you don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. In other words, outwork your self-doubt. The second step to growing in confidence with time is to start mixing with positive people. And by this, I mean people who support you, encourage you to do your best, and who have a healthy and balanced view of themselves. Author and speaker Jim Rohn is famously known for saying that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. I believe there's so much truth in this that we do ourselves a disservice if we don't pay attention to it. For as far back as I can remember in my childhood, I recall my parents telling me to be really careful about the people I choose to spend time with, to choose my friends carefully. Now, my mum and dad, just like countless other good-willed parents throughout generations, know this to be true, that the company we keep has a huge effect on how we see ourselves, how we see others, and how we see and navigate the world around us. And the same is true for our confidence. If we're surrounding ourselves with people who struggle with self-doubt themselves, and for the most part focus on what they're not good at, then guess what? We're much more likely to become more self-doubting ourselves and focusing on what we're not good at. Now, this isn't to say that we mustn't empathize with other people or support them where we can, but it is important to remember that if we're not being intentional about our own thinking, that other people's thinking patterns will inevitably start to rub off on us. So, to start becoming more confident over time, maybe it's time to take an honest look at the people you're spending the most time with, because this one shift could be a huge game changer for you. Right, before I share the third step for becoming more confident, if as part of your personal growth and development you really want to get more clarity about how you'd like your life to look in the next few years, then download my free 5-step guide to creating your ideal future. I'll put a link to it in the description. Okay, a third step for growing in confidence is to set yourself small, achievable goals. Like we saw in the first step, having a record of what you've accomplished will provide you with evidence of being capable. And evidence is a basis for confidence. And by small achievable goals, I actually mean small achievable goals. Now, I emphasize this because for some of us, we find it really hard to see what we do well. Why? Because like I've said before, we have a tendency to focus on what we don't do well. It's not in our nature to actually see what we do well and even celebrate that at times. So knowing we spot our faults and weaknesses by default and that we need supporting evidence to actually grow our confidence, learning to spot what we do well well is a very important first step in the confidence building process. So what does small and achievable look like? Well, I'm so glad you asked. And the simple answer is that it all depends on you. Small and achievable will look different for everyone and will depend on your own circumstances. So for some, small and achievable might be getting out of bed by a certain time and showering. For others, it could be completing the outline of a college or university assignment, while for other people, it might actually mean recording and publishing a video. It really depends on you and your circumstances. What's important here is that in accomplishing a goal, regardless of how big or small it may seem or how big or small it might appear to other people, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a reason to believe that you're capable. You're providing yourself evidence, and more importantly, you'll start to get in the habit of spotting what you're doing well. And as I've said before, this is one of the keys to becoming more confident. Right, there you have it. 3 things you can start doing right away that with consistent practice and patience are guaranteed to make you become more confident with time. Here's a quick recap. 1, speak more positively to yourself. We have a natural tendency to focus on our failings, but to become more confident, you'll need to get into the habit of spotting what you're capable of doing well and keeping evidence of it. 2, spend time with positive people. Being around those who don't believe in you or who show signs of struggling to believe in themselves will lead to you feeling more self-doubt. So it's important that you start to review your circle. 3, set small goals. Evidence is key to confidence building. So setting yourself up to win will give you the best chance of building the evidence you need to show that you're capable. And remember, confidence takes time and it's not something you can expect to achieve overnight, but with patience and commitment, these 3 tips will lead to you becoming more confident. Okay, we've reached the end of the video and I have a question for you. What techniques have you tried to grow your confidence in the past? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you found this video helpful, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Rooting for you. Be well.